Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I got the keys to a 2024 Chevy Trailblazer. This is the all-wheel drive RS trim level. And you can tell by the wheels, the way the front valance looks, you have a bunch of RS badges all scattered around. This front valance was completely redone for 2024. I currently own a 2021, and all they did was a refresh on the vehicle. The front end looks a little bit different, the taillights are a little bit different, the wheels are different, the whole interior screens. I'm going to go through all that with you guys today. First thing is these daytime running lights. I still have them on a 2021, however, they switched things around. This is the turn signal and the daytime running light. Before, it was a little bit wider and a little bit skinnier, and the daytime running light was lower and the turn signal light was right above it. Now they're all in one and it's a longer strip. The headlights were slightly redesigned. The hood slightly was. The rims are now 19-inch instead of 18-inch, and it's a whole different pattern. It's still black with like the machine face, kind of like mine, but not quite. Now this does have a power lift gate. This is standard in the RS trim levels and active trim levels. It never used to be. Mine doesn't have one, but they actually made that standard for 24 for the new body style, or new refreshed look of it. It's not really a new body style change, but same room as you did in the back as there is from 21 to 23. No difference for 24. You can have this set up a couple different ways. Notice this is flush with the sill here, and this is like a carpet material. You can flip this over if you don't want the carpet, and it's a hard plastic, so this way you don't get the carpet all dirty. And there's also a lower level where if you push this down a little bit, it lowers this space about 3 inches, so this way you can fit taller stuff here. And then you'll notice that this seat is already folded down. It is a 40-60 split, not a 60-40. Usually I've noticed on a lot of vehicles, the bigger half is on the left side. Never understood that. It makes so much more sense to put it on the right side. And the reason being, as soon as I unlock it, well, obviously this will come up, and there's cup holders there, but this will fold down. And the front seat, and this hasn't changed at all, this is the same, but for those of you that don't know, there's a lever right here. The front passenger seat actually folds down completely flat. So this way, I can still drive and I can still have one person sitting behind me. So you could still fit 2 people in the vehicle, and you could fit bigger stuff inside without having to put it on top, like kayaks and stuff like that. You can fit them inside the vehicle and still be able to fit 2 people. So I thought that was pretty awesome. The tracks, the new 24 tracks, I did a video on that a little while ago. That does the same thing. Now what I would like to do is, for those of you that have also not seen, check out the legroom. The 2 things I like about this vehicle in particular, especially having owned one, the back legroom, and this is where I would normally sit. I have everything set to where I would normally. You could take a nap on the floor. I mean, there's so much room back here for how small this vehicle is, and it has a ton of headroom. I feel like I have like 6 inches between my roof and between the headliner and my head. And it also has the full sunroof. There are a few options that are added to this that are normally not standard, because this car starts around 28.7. But with the options and everything, you're around 34.5. Pop the hood and show you guys the power plant, which has also not changed. But you do have this is a 1.3 liter turbocharged 3-cylinder. It makes 155 horsepower, 174 pound-feet of torque. It is driven, the transmission's a 9-speed automatic. And in terms of fuel economy, it looks like compared to my car, it went up 1 mile per gallon around town, but down 1 mile per gallon on the highway. So you're rated around 26 in the city and 29 on the highway, instead of 25 and 30 like mine is. Might have to do with the slight aerodynamic changes up front, possibly, to maybe make it a little bit better around town. But yeah, let's hop in here. This crimson metallic is absolutely gorgeous. And it still has the jet black with the red accents. It's just, like I said, it's all leather instead of it being like a hybrid type seat. Now, it does have, I pretty much have all of the equipment that is in this, except for the sunroof and the power liftgate, because that was not standard. So you have a full sunroof, and this pane of glass, there's two of them here. This one's fixed in place, and that one will slide back or tilt, and the buttons are right up here for it. Let's start this thing up. You can notice not a whole ton of noise, but that might be some of the improvements they've made over mine, because I noticed mine has a little bit more cabin noise than this. This is actually very quiet. All right. Still single zone automatic climate. Your all-wheel drive button is down here. You can press that and the light will turn on. That'll take you in and out of all-wheel drive. Normally it's in front-wheel drive, and then when you press that, it locks the rear in. There is a sport mode. That tightens up your steering wheel the feel of it a little bit, and it also shifts at higher RPMs. So you have access to you have access to the whole power band instead of just a limited portion of it. You have traction control you can turn off there. Has a wireless charging port to put your phone there. There's a pad you can charge it on. There's a blind spot warning and lane keep assist and lane departure warning. And then you also have the monitors in the mirrors there. They'll light up if somebody's in your blind spot. Down here is a button for your trunk. You can pop that at any time. And you can also program it to a specific height if you would like. High beams are automatic. That hasn't changed. Heated steering wheel is something I do not have. They added that in 2022. So that's something that's been around for a couple years now. So you do have a heated steering wheel. That is standard, and so are the seats in the front. Forward collision alert, of course. Automatic braking. And then, of course, you have the nice backup camera, all high definition. This is you'll notice too, this is a bigger screen than the pre-refresh, like is in mine. And then also, this is not, you notice the gauges are not analog anymore. This is all screen. That's one of the biggest changes they made. It's all screen now. So all of your tack and your speed and everything is all on this one fixed display. All of your vehicle information, if you want to access it, is now on this new bigger screen, and it'll show you all your trip information, fuel economy, tire pressures, oil life, all the stuff that you need that you used to be able to see on here is now all on here. This is a fixed display, and this is where you access everything now. And now you do have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. That hasn't changed. And you got a nice size little glove box here. It's about the same size. Most of the interior dimensions are pretty much exactly the same. You have a little console in the middle with a tray, and that gets there's a little deeper area in there. Cup holders are a nice size. You have a couple of them around here. Bose sound system. Can't remember if I had mentioned that, but that is one of my favorite things. I am a music addict, so you have to have the premium sound system if you're with me. And they just, besides some little exterior changes and some minor interior changes, like with this red stitching and the fact that this is all leather, it's pretty much the same car. You got a nice embossing on the headrests there. Well, I think we're about ready to take this thing for a ride. Let's see how different it is compared to a 21 to 23. I would imagine it would drive pretty much the same, but I want to see if it's any different. And I do want to apologize for the long hiatus, with it being as cold as it's been and workload being as high as it's been. I haven't had a chance to post anything in a few months since the weather was a little warmer. But we're gonna start getting back on track with things here. I want to make sure I keep creating content for you guys. I love doing it. Work has been very, very hectic. All right, let's go this way. This is such a perfect size. Like, it's not too small, not too big. The Trax is really nice. If you guys haven't seen my video on that, please do so. Really, really cool. It's pretty much a very similar size to this. It's just front wheel drive, and there's a little less headroom. But other than that, they're very similar. They both share the same engine. The Trax shares the same engine as the front-wheel drive version of this, which is a 1.2 liter, not a 1.3 liter. Yeah, some rough potholes on the roads around this closed mall here. Unfortunately, that's a shame. Malls are closing down in my area anyway. I think it might be a little quieter, the cabin. So that's good. They paid a little more attention to insulation. Or noise canceling, I guess you could say. Sound deadening materials, maybe. That all-digital display is pretty cool. I do like the analog gauges, but this is real futuristic. Three-cylinder's got a nice little growl to it. Very nice. Low end torque is very, very nice. You give it a little bit going up a hill, it doesn't really downshift. Plenty of gears to play with the 9-speed. Yeah, this is a pretty steep hill and not really, there's no kickdown or anything. Torque curve's very, very nice. I love this. I've always loved this texturing on the steering wheel. It's leather wrapped and it's got like this texturing. It looked like it's been poked with it's got a bunch of needle holes in it. It's very, very comfortable. Plus it's kind of nice when the heat is on the steering wheel. Something I wish mine had. Handles. Very tight. Really nice low grumbly sound. I always thought the 3-cylinder sounded good. Tell you what, all the red that's scattered throughout here and the fact that the steering wheel is like this gloss black with like a flat bottom on it, it just makes you look like, it looks so sporty. It just makes you feel sporty when you drive it. I think the power delivery at lower speeds and lower RPMs, there's actually plenty of torque, and I think it's fantastic. One thing I have noticed, and I'll test it on the highway to see if they did anything with it, is torque and power at higher RPMs or higher speeds. A little of both, actually. It happens in either situation. Power and torque delivery is, for lack of better words, it kind of doesn't necessarily fall flat on its face, but you can definitely tell that there's only 155 horsepower. However, from anywhere between a stop and about 40, 50 miles an hour, maybe, not quite 60, but probably between up to 40 and 50 miles an hour, this thing's a little rocket ship. The low end acceleration is very, 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 very impressive. So we're gonna take this on the highway in a little bit here and see how it handles, see how it accelerates. A little bit of cabin noise, but this is also a back road, and there's still some cinders and everything down from some rough weather, so drives just as great, if not better than mine, obviously with it being new. And with the seats being all leather, it's actually surprisingly comfortable. I think the seats in my car are very comfortable. The cloth is a little more plush, but this leather is actually very soft. All right, here we go. Yeah, see what I mean? 50 was pretty quick. Yeah, down at lower speeds, man, this thing is very, very, very impressive. You gotta hand it to it. Set my cruise control, which by the way is adaptive, which is awesome. Love adaptive cruise control. radio is super, super nice. Sirius XM. It's AM, FM, and Sirius XM. You have all three, of course, but you could also do your Bluetooth or CarPlay. This new screen system is really, really nice. It's so nice to look at. And it's so seamless too. There's no lag or anything. One thing I'm not getting that sounds a lot better is when you're cruising, I've noticed around like 1500 RPM. Mostly for me, it happens around like 45 to like 55 miles an hour. At like 1500 RPM when you're driving, it drones really bad in the cabin. Like there's a nasty vibration. Like I know 3-cylinders are apparently the way they're set up, there are a little more vibrations in 3-cylinders, but I'm not feeling it in this. So maybe that's an issue with vibrations that they rectified. I don't know if maybe better motor mounts or something, but I didn't hear anything at that RPM range, so that's very, very good. Yeah, it's nice. It's got you can turn the ladders on or off. High definition. Super, super nice. All right, cool. This was really, 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 really nice. Yep, don't forget your groceries. That might be enough to get me into a new one, because this thing's awesome. I love the way they did the screens and everything. Wow. And they have so many new colors this year that you can choose from too. I didn't have a chance to get my hands on a cacti green or a fountain blue one or a copper harbor one, but those are three colors that I was really looking at. Now actually the crimson I'm actually a fan of. But thank you very much to Blaise Alexander Chevy in Muncy, PA for allowing me to keep doing these videos. I really appreciate it, guys. And I will see you guys in the next one. I appreciate you watching.